Hi, my name is Tyrone West, and I'm a doctoral student at California Intercontinental University. And this presentation will be discussing what's trendy in market research. The agenda for this presentation is as follows. First, I'll discuss trend-inspired skills that market researchers should possess and why. Next, I'll be discussing emergent approaches to market research and how they differ from the traditional style of researching. Then I will go into marketing industry challenges. Next, I'll be discussing transforming challenges into opportunities and how challenges are not always a bad thing. And finally, I'll discuss how I'm going to utilize the learned material and integrate it into my market research proposal. So first, I'll be discussing the type of skills market researchers should have. These are the skills in demand, and these are what respondents rated to be the most important. There were many skills that they listed. However, I highlighted the most important 5. So 34 respondents said data analytics and data science should be a skill that researchers possess. 21% of respondents said storytelling and visualization. 19% said sales and business knowledge skills. 15% noted other skills, and that contains a various kind of broad definition of skills researchers should have. And 10% of respondents said critical thinking, strategy, and innovation skills. It's important for researchers to have a blend of skills that make them competent researchers that can identify important data and interpret that data. Good researchers should have the skills to know what to do with that information as well. Clients or firms are increasingly using different forms of research methods to gather data. There are many new methods that lie outside of traditional market research. However, the following is a list of the 5 most commonly used. Those are online communities, text analytics, mobile-first surveys, social media analytics, and webcam-based interviews. In my market research proposal, I'm trying to determine how online markets are cutting into the performance of kind of like brick and mortar stores or walk-in stores, right? And specifically talking about clothing sales. Mobile first surveys and text analytics could be good tools to use to gather data to track kind of consumer behavior. According to the most recent edition of the GRIT report, 10 themes were identified as the biggest challenges facing market research. However, this presentation discusses the top 3. 56% of respondents said the methodology presents a challenge. Often the method of collecting the data is a challenge. If they use social media, it's the information's often all over the place, or people don't know how to really decipher through the information to find the important things that they need. Maybe the company doesn't have the personnel that's properly trained to do that, so that presents a challenge. There's the response rates are generally low if they're using surveys and stuff, because people really don't like to participate in surveys, or they get bored with them, or there's no incentives to do it. SurveyMonkey is one of the kind of online survey companies or mobile survey companies that they do have incentives. They pay participants little rewards, or they accumulate points, and after so many points they can cash it in for dollars, and that creates an incentive to participate in these surveys. So perhaps more things like that could help overcome that challenge. 29% discuss clientele as being a challenge. Customers expect insights far too quickly, or they have dwindling budgets and they need low cost and low quality insight, but that can hurt them in the long run. And 25% of respondents noted outcomes as being a challenging thing. Often poor market research leads to poor outcomes, and you don't want to trade off having these speedy types of research through collecting the data and analyze it via online communities or these mobile surveys, because for one, you might not directly focus on the proper stuff. It's so much data, almost like big data, or you might not have somebody that can properly analyze that stuff, which could also lead to poor outcomes. So that presents a challenge. These are all things that I will consider when doing my market research proposal. The method of collecting the data. What am I going to use to determine or to identify the variables associated with online vendors taking business from, your traditional walk-in stores. But it's important to note that challenges shouldn't be viewed as something negative. Challenges offer an opportunity for growth, change, innovation. And like stated on the slide before, one of the challenges was the social media data collection. So an opportunity that could arise from that could be, yeah, the data is all over the place. What do we do with the data? A lack of trained personnel. These questions, this information gives rise to what we can do next in response to that. So if the data is all over the place, how about creating a program or something that makes sense of that data or has algorithms that look for specific things? Lack of trained personnel, how about making decisions to hire people with a balanced set of skills so that they can properly collect and analyze that data? All of this material information from the GRIT report can be utilized to enhance marketing research plans or proposals. This material can be used to inform us about the best decisions we can make as leaders. Nobody can predict where a company is going to go, but we can use the information at hand to make the best decisions about the future, right? So I found that the GRIT was very informative, and I found so many things that can be utilized to enhance the quality of a market research proposal or to make best decision about how to collect and analyze data or what even platform we're going to use to do that. So I thought it was great, and I look forward to using this information for my final research project and for future endeavors. My name is Tyrone West. I'm with California Intercontinental University. I want to thank you for listening to my slides, my presentation.